Hey family, welcome back to Imani Invests. I want to start today by talking about a feeling that many of us know all too well. You tell yourself you being responsible with your money. You pay your bills on time. You don't go out and buy anything too crazy. And maybe you even have a savings account sitting there with a little bit of cash in it. But somehow, at the end of every single month, you find yourself in the exact same place. The balance hasn't moved. Your big goals still feel like they miles away. And you left wondering why other people seem to be taking vacations, buying homes, and growing their wealth while you just treading water. Here is the truth. It's not that you bad with money, and it's not necessarily that you don't make enough. Although we all want to earn more. The real issue is that you developed a set of habits that feel completely normal. These are habits that millions of people share, habits that don't trigger any alarms because they feel reasonable. But in reality, they are quietly draining your financial future. They don't feel like problems while you're redoing them, they just feel like what everyone does. And that is exactly why they are so effective at keeping you broke. Today, I am breaking down 11 money habits that are holding you back. Some of these might sting a little, and you might see yourself in several of them. But listen, sis, that discomfort is where the growth begins. Once you see the trap, you can finally stop walking into it. The first habit, and the one I see most often, is paying yourself last. Most people handle their paycheck the same way. The money hits the account, and they immediately start paying everyone else. The landlord gets his, the electric company gets theirs, the car note and the phone bill are handled, and then the subscriptions come out. After that, whatever is left goes to living, dinners out, social events, or that new outfit. Finally, they tell themselves they'll save whatever is left over at the end of the month. But we all know the ending to that story. Nothing is ever left over. There is always an emergency or a sale that feels necessary. This is treating your future self like an afterthought, funding your legacy with scraps. The problem is a lack of discipline. It's a problem of architecture. Wealthy people do the exact opposite. They pay themselves first. The moment that money arrives, a percentage moves automatically into savings and investments before they even see it. You have to treat your savings like a bill that is non-negotiable. If you pay yourself last, you guaranteeing yourself nothing. But when you pay yourself first, you are guaranteeing your freedom. Next, let's talk about the psychological trap of spending to save. We've all been there. You see a pair of shoes that are 40% off, or a buy two, get one free deal, and your brain tells you that you being smart. You think, I normally would spend $100, but I got it for $60. I just saved $40. No, family, you didn't save $40. You spent $60. That saved $40 doesn't exist in your bank account. It was just a marketing trick to get you to open your wallet. Sales are designed to create a sense of urgency and a fear of missing out. They turn browsing into buying before you had a chance to think. If you weren't planning to buy that item at full price before the sale started, then that discount isn't a bargain. It's just a smaller amount of money you didn't need to spend. The best deal you'll ever get is the one you don't take. Another silent killer is not tracking where your money actually goes. If I asked you right now exactly how much you spent on takeout or subscriptions last month, would you know the number or would you just guess? Most people choose to fly blind because looking at the numbers in black and white forces a level of honesty that is uncomfortable. It's hard to tell yourself you doing okay. When you see $300 in DoorDash fees staring back at you from a spreadsheet, we avoid tracking because we don't want to be held accountable, but you cannot control what you do not measure. Until you know exactly what is coming in and exactly what is leaking out, you are reacting to your life instead of designing it. I want you to try something. Track every single cent for just 1 month. Every coffee, it's only $5 purchase. And every automatic charge. The picture that emerges will be a wake-up call, and it will show you exactly where your wealth has been disappearing. Then we have the lifestyle creep. This happens when you finally get that raise or that promotion you've been working so hard for. You feel like you deserve a reward, so you get a slightly nicer apartment, a newer car, or you start eating at better restaurants. But 6 months later, you realize you feel just as broke as you did before you got the raise. This is because your spending rose automatically to match your new income. Those new luxuries quickly become necessities that you can imagine living without. Now, you running faster on a more expensive treadmill, and you even more vulnerable because your floor is higher. Lifestyle upgrades aren't bad, but they have to be deliberate. If you spend every raise you get, you aren't building wealth, you just upgrading your consumption. We also have to talk about using credit cards as a crutch. Swiping now and telling yourself figure it out later is a recipe for disaster. The problem is that credit cards separate the pain of paying from the pleasure of buying. When you tap your phone or wave your watch, the money feels fake and abstract. But the 22% interest rate is very real. If you only making minimum payments, you aren't paying off debt, you repaying the bank for the privilege of staying stuck. If you can afford to pay for it in cash today, you cannot afford it. Use your cards for convenience and points, but treat them like a debit card. If the cash is in the account, the card stays in the purse. Are you spending money on your fantasy self? This is the version of you that runs marathons, so you buy the expensive shoes that sit in the closet. It's the version of you that cooks gourmet meals, so you buy the fancy gadgets that stay in the box. We often buy things as a substitute for actually doing the work. The purchase feels like progress, but it's just expensive cosplay for a life you aren't actually living before you spend money on the person you want to be. Look at what the person you are is actually doing. If you aren't consistently practicing the habit, the gear 1 make it happen. There is also the habit of saying yes to everything. The social pressure to keep up with your friends can be a massive drain. The dinner invites, the weekend trips, the group gifts. Every yes to someone else has plan as a no to your own financial goals. We don't want to seem broke or be the boring friend, but the people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. If a friendship requires you to go into debt just to hang out, you need to re-evaluate that circle. Learn the power of a polite, not this time. The temporary discomfort of saying no is much better than the permanent stress of a credit card balance. A very dangerous habit is waiting for more money to start. You tell yourself you budget when you make $70,000, or you invest when you have a real amount of cash. But money management is a skill, and like any skill, you have to practice it when the stakes are low. If you can manage a small amount of money, you magically be able to manage a large amount. In fact, if you don't have the habits in place, more money will just lead to more expensive mistakes. Start where you are, with whatever you have. The habit of being a good steward of your coins matters 100 times more than the actual number in the account. We also have to stop ignoring those small expenses. We think $5 here or $10 there doesn't matter. But small leaks can sink a big ship. Those tiny, invisible transactions, the convenience fees, the snacks at the gas station, the subscriptions you forgot about, add up to thousands of dollars a year. It's not about the coffee, it's about the lack of awareness. When you let small amounts slip away because they feel trivial, you are training your brain to ignore the value of your labor. Every dollar has a job to do. Don't let yours wander off because you weren't paying attention. And let's be real about investing. Stop treating it like something for later. Every year you wait to start investing is a year of compounding you can never get back. If you start at 25, you can build a fortune with a small amount of money. If you wait until 35, you have to work twice as hard to get to the same place. Time is the only resource you can earn more of. You don't need to be a Wall Street expert to start. A simple, low-cost index fund is enough. The perfect time to invest is a myth. The best time was 10 years ago, the second best time is today. Finally, the most expensive habit of all is refusing to invest in your own financial knowledge. We will spend hundreds on a weekend trip or a pair of shoes, but we hesitate to spend time or a little bit of money on learning how the financial system actually works. This illiteracy is what keeps us in debt, keeps us paying high fees, and keeps us missing out on the tax advantages that the wealthy use every day. Every bad habit on this list comes down to not knowing the rules of the game. But you are here right now, which means you already taking the most important step. Family, these habits feel natural because they are what society expects of us. They want us to pay ourselves last, spend to feel better, and stay in the fog about our debt. But you are building a legacy. You are a builder, not just a consumer. These patterns won't fix themselves. You have to be the one to step off the treadmill. You've seen the habits now, and you've felt that "that's me" moment. Use that feeling to fuel your change. The habits that got you to this point get you to where you want to go. It's time to build a new foundation, one decision at a time. I've put together a full breakdown of the things the school system never taught us about money, how debt really works, and how to automate your wealth. Check that out next. You got this. Sis, I'll see you in the next one.